students, how are you? I hope all are good. Today let me start SST chapter number 14, the Indian Constitution. यह इसका मतलब है भारत का संविधान. Let's begin. Every country or state needs a set of fundamental laws according to which it can be governed. मतलब हर देश को ज़रूरत होती है एक मतलब उसको अपने देश को सही तरीके से चलाने की. ठीक है. This set of fundamental laws or governing principles is called the constitution of that country. तो उसको क्या बोला जाता है उस देश का संविधान. Law can be defined as a system of rules and guidelines that are enforced through political and social institutions to deal with crime, maintain order and regulate social behavior. The Constitution of India, भारत का संविधान. The Constitution of India was enacted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. ठीक है. कब बनना शुरू हुआ था? 26 नवंबर को और फिर धीरे धीरे वो कब लागू हुआ? 26 जनवरी 1950 को. इट इज़ द लॉन्गेस्ट रिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इन द वर्ल्ड. ये संसार का सबसे बड़ा लिखित संविधान है. द प्रीएम्बल to the Constitution of India clearly state the Union of India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. The laws of governance that it entails are rooted in the basic principles of equality, liberty and justice. ठीक है. Through various measures and guidelines, the Constitution of India aims to promote the country's unity and integrity amidst diversities. यानी कि भारत में जो भी देश में लोग हैं सबको एकता, समानता, ओके और आज़ादी से जीने का अधिकार है. The Constitution governance and law making. The Constitution of a country provides the fundamental legal framework for the function of a country's government. Some of its features that reflect its significance as the supreme source of legislation are described ahead. It provides the basic guidelines for governance based on the principles of popular democracy. The nature of a country's political system is defined by the Constitution. It authorizes a country's government to exercise certain powers while checking their use in an arbitrary way. It outlines the process of making new legislation or laws for the country. Okay, so the duties and rights of the citizen of the country are laid down in the Constitution. The Constitution and the legitimacy of law. A constitution is not just a set of law, but it is also and hence the guiding principles for framing new laws. Thus, it determines the authority and legitimacy of the law. So, the lawmakers of a country depend on the Constitution to justify the content of new laws and the process of making them. Since the interests and rights of the people are pivotal to the constitution of a democratic country such as India, lawmakers cannot overlook then while making any new law. If any law passed by the legislature is against the spirit of the constitution, it is declared unconstitutional. The right to review a law passed by the legislature rests with the Supreme Court of India. This is called judicial review. Okay, so to guard against the misuse of power by the state, the constitution's maker decide to guarantee its people certain written rights. These rights known as the fundamental rights. उसमें अधिकार लिखे होते हैं कि लोगों को क्या क्या अधिकार है. Are included in part 1 of Indian Constitution. These fundamental rights are so called because the legislature and the executive cannot override them. Also, the state cannot take away these rights from an individual. A citizen can move the court of law if he or she is denied these rights. These rights protect citizens from exploitation by an individual or the state. The Constitution also aims to safeguard the rights of the minority communities. However, the rights are not absolute and the Constitution imposes certain limits on the enjoyment of these rights. In the interest of society, as in the event of a national emergency when some fundamental rights are suspended. So, dissent. We often hear about people talking about processions or rallies or sitting on fast against some laws that they think might violate their freedom. Such an expression of disagreement or opposition is termed as dissent. Dissent has an important role in democracy as it expresses people's freedom to oppose a law being imposed on them without their consent. So, for example, the Salt Satyagraha led by, जो नमक सत्याग्रह था किसके द्वारा किया गया? महात्मा गांधी के द्वारा during the colonial period. So the anti-liquor campaign launched in 1991 in Andhra. In contrast to our system, let's understand what happened in Nepal, where monarchy prevailed as a format government until recently. Under the monarchy, all the power were vested with the king, so this caused a widespread disorder and discontentment, which led to a change. However, the king continued to be the head of the state and the elected prime minister can run the country. This system lasted for 12 years. But then in 2002, King Gyanendra, sitting political instability, sacked the elected government. He slowly began to take control back. But in 2006, there was massive unrest in Nepal. So people took to street to demand a democratic form of government. They wanted a new constitution. They believed that a constitution should be a reflection of the ideals of the people of Nepal. So finally, in 2008, Nepal was declared a federal democratic republic with the president as head of the state and the king was stripped of all powers. क्योंकि वो उसका गलत यूज करने लगा था, इसलिए लोगों को संविधान की फिर वहाँ पे जरूरत पड़ी. इसके अंदर राष्ट्रपति के salient features of the Indian Constitution. Let's look at some of the salient features of the principles highlighted in our constitution. Federalism. Both the center and the state draw power from the constitution. The union, the state and the concurrent list define the powers and functions of each level. So, a federal setup is one in which every individual state enjoys independence in matters related to their states. When it comes to matters of national importance, they have to follow orders of the central government. Besides, the constitution clearly specifies the source of fund for each level of government. Some issues are of concern for both the center and the state, so they are included in the concurrent list. Both the center and the state governments jointly make laws or issues mentioned in the concurrent list. Parliamentary form of government. India has a parliamentary form of government. In this type of government, the representatives are chosen by the people through universal adult franchise. So the Indian Constitution guarantees are universal adult franchise or suffrage to all citizens who are 18 years of age or above. This gives political equality to all sections of society. The framers felt that by promoting political equality, the society would become free from control of class, caste and gender hierarchies. Separation of power. The constitution defines the power of the three organs of the state: legislature, executive and the judiciary. So the legislature is made up of a group of elected representatives who makes law on behalf of the people. The executive implement those rules and regulations. It is also answerable to the legislature. So lastly, the judiciary protects the interests of the people and is the guardian of the constitution. It makes sure that none of its rules is breached by any of the organs. So each organ checks on the other and creates a balance of power between them. So this ensures that none of them becomes too powerful of authoritarian. Fundamental rights and duties. The Indian Constitution guarantees its citizens certain basic rights. These rights safeguard the citizens against arbitrary and absolute use of authority by the state. So these rights are called fundamental rights because they are basic human rights. They are essential for the well-being of the citizen. So the fundamental rights advocate ideas such as equality, liberty and justice. They at times are referred to as the conscience of the Indian Constitution. There are 6 fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution. These are right to equality, yani ki samanta. This right states that every person is equal before the law. It means that every person will be equally protected by the law of the country. सभी लोग जो है, चाहे वो लोअर कास्ट है, अपर कास्ट है, सबको जो है कानून के द्वारा एक जैसा ही प्रावधान है. It also states that no person will be discriminated against on the basis of his or her caste, creed, color, religion, gender, etc. Everyone will have full access to all public places. such as schools, playgrounds, hotels, shops, etc. Also, no person will be discriminated so against in the matters of employment. Right to freedom, आजादी का अधिकार. This right ensures freedom of speech and expressions, बोलने का अधिकार. To form associations, to reside any part of the country and to practice any profession, occupation or businesses. Right against exploitation, यानी शोषण के विरुद्ध अधिकार, है ना, किसी का शोषण होता है. This right prohibits human trafficking, forced labor and employment of children below the age of 14 years in any hazardous or dangerous work. Right to freedom of religion, ठीक है. This right provides religions freedom to every citizen of India. Everyone has the right to practice, profess and propagate the religion of their choice. Cultural and educational rights. These rights state that any minority, whether religious or linguistic, can set up their own educational institution in order to preserve and develop their own culture. Right to constitutional remedies. These rights ensure that the rights of any Indian citizen do not get violated. In case of any violation, a person can move to a court. Along with the fundamental rights, some fundamental duties are also mentioned in the Constitution. These duties, though not enforceable by law, were included in the Indian Constitution in 1976. So, directive principle of state policy. These are the guidelines that help the government in transforming the ideas ancient in the Constitution into laws that promote socio-economic justice, strengthen the democratic system, safeguard our heritage and maintain peaceful relations with our neighboring countries. Secularism. We have already read what the word secular means in the Constitution of India. In a secular state, any one religion is not promoted as a state and religion. So the all topics are covered in this chapter here. I hope you all are very well understand this. So we will meet you in the next class.